Picture this. You're in a group. The conversation is actually flowing, people are laughing, and you're having a good time. But then, the conversational spotlight swings and lands directly on you. Suddenly, it's your turn to talk, and your brain just vanishes. A system-wide error message flashes in your mind. 404. Words not found. You're staring at a random spot on the floor, praying for a fire drill, an alien invasion, anything to save you from the crushing silence. Here's the crazy part. The number one piece of advice everyone gives you for this exact moment? It's a complete and utter lie. Mythbreaker. You've heard it a million times. Just be confident, or take a deep breath and just speak. Oh, thanks, I'm cured. If confidence was a vending machine, I'd be perpetually out of quarters. That advice doesn't work because it asks your panicking brain to do the one thing it physically cannot do: pretend it isn't panicking. You can't just decide to be confident when your heart is trying to beat its way out of your chest. So, if that's a lie, what's the truth? What actually works when your mouth locks up and your mind is just a blank screen? Section 1. The story. Let me tell you a story. A few years back, I decided it was finally time to ask my boss for a raise. I practiced my speech in the mirror. I had my bullet points ready. I walked into her office, sat down, and when I opened my mouth to speak, a squeak came out. A literal, high-pitched, mouse-like squeak. My whole beautifully planned speech just evaporated. My brain was a snowstorm of pure static. In a desperate scramble to say something, anything, I complimented her shoes. She said, "Thanks." Then, as I was making my grand escape, my brain decided to reboot and send one last catastrophic signal to my mouth. I turned around at the door and said, "I love you." Somehow, I still worked there. For weeks, I replayed that moment. The cringe was so powerful it could have powered a small city. Section 2. The insight. That moment, and honestly, hundreds of others just like it, led me to stumble upon a discovery. The problem wasn't that I didn't have the right words. The problem was that I was trying way too hard to find the perfect words. You know, the smooth, impressive, confident-sounding words. I was trying to hide the fact that I was a nervous wreck. But here's the thing I realized. Waiting to feel ready is a trap. It never happens. So the big aha moment was this. What if you didn't need the perfect words? What if the trick wasn't to hide the awkwardness, but to use it? What if you just showed up, messy, malfunctioning, and all? Section 3. The weird trick. Narrate your malfunction. This brings me to the weirdly simple mental trick that changed everything for me. I call it narrating the malfunction. Instead of fighting the brain freeze, you just announce it. You let people in on the little secret that you're a human whose brain just crashed. Here are 3 simple ways to do it. First is the honest reboot. The next time you're put on the spot and your mind is just a void, just smile and say, "Give me 1 second, my brain just did a hard reset." It's disarming. People don't expect that honesty, and they usually laugh. More importantly, it buys you a few precious seconds to actually reboot. Second, try the live narration. Just describe what's happening in your head. Say something like, "Wow, my mind has gone completely blank. It's like tumbleweeds rolling through here right now." By verbalizing the awkwardness, you rob it of its power. You're pointing out the elephant in the room, which makes everyone, including you, relax a little. Third, and my personal favorite for groups, is the absurd pivot. If you're totally lost, just point to something random and say, "That is a very healthy-looking plant." Anyway, it's so bizarre and unexpected that it completely shatters the tension. It gets a laugh, and most importantly, it jolts your brain out of that panic loop. Section 4. The transformation. So, whatever happened with my boss? You remember the "I love you" incident, right? Well, months later, during a performance review, she brought it up. She told me my awkwardness that day was refreshingly honest. She knew I was nervous, and my fumbling, disastrous attempt to connect actually made me seem more human, not less competent. My value didn't suddenly tank because my delivery wasn't perfect. The real trick isn't about sounding smooth. It's about letting people see that you're human. The goal is no longer to be the most confident person in the room. The goal is just to connect, even if it's through a shared, slightly cringy moment. The secret to never running out of things to say isn't about having more words. It's about being less afraid of the silence. It's about giving yourself permission to stop trying to be a perfect, polished robot and just be a person for a second. So, here's my challenge to you. The next time you feel that familiar freeze setting in, try one of these weird lines. Don't aim for a perfect speech. Just aim for didn't die of embarrassment. You might be surprised at how well it works. And hey, if you want more strategies for navigating these beautifully awkward human moments, go ahead and subscribe for my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.